Goedemorgen allemaal. Good morning everyone. Welcome to another Hatha practice with me. I hope you are enjoying the previous ones. Today I am trying to focus more on feeling the inner space, stretching, making more room in your body, and see if we can sort of kind of feel it when we create more room, feel it with our breath, that we can send the breath to more places in our body. Things are opening up, things are getting more spacious, and trying to breathe into all the little nooks and crannies of our body. So let's start. And today we will start. You will need blocks, a blanket or a cushion to sit on later on, and a strap. That reminds me, I do not have a strap, but I'll work with it. I didn't wear a scarf today because I'm wearing my big, nice Norwegian sweater. It is getting colder. It's not anywhere close to how cold it's gonna get, of course. But yeah, anyhow, I pulled out the big guns anyway. So yeah, let's start. We are going to start today in Shavasana. Just a nice, normal start in Shavasana. Let's try to find a comfortable spot here on your mat. And really first start to take in all the sounds around you. Maybe the wind rushing through the trees, as here in Pittsburgh, on my porch. Or maybe it's just the tiptoeing of a dog or a cat in your living room. Let all noises and sounds be welcome and become part of your practice. Don't let them try and not get distracted by them. So it's an extra exercise for the mind. And to help the mind settle and become more at ease, use the breath as your anchor. Use the breath for your mind to settle on. Really start to notice whether you have any lingering tension or stress in your shoulders most of the time. See if you can really relax those places. And start focusing on your breath. The breath we would like to send down deep in the belly. And minimize any chest breathing during our practice. Notice the rise of your belly on an inhale and the retraction of your navel towards the mat on your exhale. Just follow the breath. And then go ahead, take your legs close together and your arms overhead. Interlace your fingers and reach your palms up and start stretching Full body stretch here. Pointing the toes, flexing, pointing, really stretching out through the palms of your hand up. And then stretch with your right a little more, with your left a little more. Come back to the middle. Then take your hands under your head. Cup your head with your hands, and then move your feet to the right corner of your mat and just lift up your shoulders and head and also place them towards the right. So you get this nice little, I call it banana shape all the time, like a crescent on your left. And see if you can relax the legs and feel the gentle stretch on your left side of your body. Take 2 breaths here. Notice how the left side fills out with your breath, with your inhale. And try to relax everything on your exhale. Your shoulders, your hip, your legs. Good. And then move your head to the middle, move your feet to the middle. And take everything to the left side, so feet over to the left corner of your mat, head and shoulders over to the left, scooch them over to the left, and then relax your shoulders, relax your feet, and find a few nice belly breaths here. If your shoulders can't relax behind your head, you can always take them into cactus arms. Good. And then bring your legs back to the middle, head and shoulders back to the middle. Good. And then we're going to take our knees into the chest. Oh, some pine needles. Float down on me, knees into the chest. And again, just to start linking our movements to the breath. With our inhale, we're going to let our knees move forward, and on an exhale, just bring them in. Just syncing movement to breath. Maybe 5 more times. Inhale, knees move away from the chest. Exhale, knees come toward the chest. Good. All right. And then bring the soles of your feet to the mat, and then take a block. Yes. So sorry, you should have had your block a bit closer. You didn't have to get up. So we're going to take our feet. First of all, the feet, placing them close to each other, so the joints of your big toes are touching. Your heels, your inner ankle is touching. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the block, the wide side, and put it in between our thighs. So, like this. So the wide side, not the small side. This is the wide side. So we're going to put that in between. So we've got a relatively wider opening between the legs. Our arms can be next to our body, or if you want, if it feels good, you can also take them to goalpost arms, sorry, or T position with the arms, sorry. So what we're going to do here is just activating the thighs. So on every, we take a nice inhale, and on the exhale you press your thighs into the block. And on your inhale, you try to use the whole inhale to let go of the tension. So it's a controlled letting go of your thighs engagement. So exhale, squeeze. Inhale, slowly let go. Warming up the thighs here. Really see if you can follow the breath. Exhaling when you squeeze into the block. Inhale, slow release. Working those thighs. Maybe 2 more times. With your own breath. And last time. And slowly release. Take your block out. Don't put it down yet. We're going to move our feet hip width apart. So feet hip width apart. And we're going to turn the block the small way. Now we're just having the narrow side in between the legs. Feels very different right away. Our arms are going to be next to our body right now. And what we're going to do is we start with squeezing in the block, then lifting our pelvic floor and just lifting our sacrum like an inch or like 2 centimeters, 1.5 centimeter off from the floor. And what happens then is you feel your lower back really press into the mat. And then on your inhale, you let that engagement go. So you let go of that sacrum that was rising a little, then your pelvic floor, and then you relax your thighs. So you just take it at your own pace with your breath. So take a nice inhale, and then exhale, squeeze the block, lift the pelvic floor, and then lift your sacrum about an inch, 1.5 centimeters, feeling that lower back really make nice contact with the mat. Inhale, slowly release. And try to do it in stages, but that also definitely takes practice. So exhale, squeeze, lift pelvic floor, lift your sacrum a little, and then inhale, release. Now take that 5 more times with your own breath. And here comes the last time. So inhale, release. And on your exhale, let's push all the way up into bridge, but pressing into the block, lifting the pelvic floor. Now lift your sacrum off of the mat. Send your hip bones up. Really push through the hands, push through the shoulders, push through your feet. And your buttocks are engaged. Holding here for a few breaths. Nice belly breath. One more breath. And on your exhale, release all the way down to the floor. Good. And then take the block out. Put it next to you and just take your feet a little wider, about as wide as your mat, and then just windshield wipe your knees from side to side. Just a little relaxing for the buttocks and for our inner thighs, a little stretching. Good. All right, now we're going to do a little engagement of our core. So take your both knees into the chest. Take your hands onto your right knee and send your left leg out. And we're going to just take our knee into our chest a little bit. And then we're going to come up and curl our shoulders and forehead towards our knee. Finding that engagement here in the core. Your lower back is pressing nicely into the floor. activate through that elongated leg on the mat, and find your breath. Good, and relax back to the mat. Take that left leg in for a moment, and we'll take it on the left. So extend your right leg, take your left knee in towards the chest, and come up, curl up, shoulders and head towards your knee. Your straight leg is nice and active. Core is engaging. Good, and then release down to the mat. Take the other knee in. We send that left leg out again. And now we're just gonna extend our right leg upward. Good, and take your hands behind your hamstring. And we do the same, so take a little curl. So curl up, shoulders off the mat. You're looking straight ahead at your quad. Good. Core is engaged. And then stay here, but see if you can move your hands a little bit more upward. Maybe just above your knee or under your knee, however you want to see that. And then see if you can press your hands into your calf and your calf into your hands. A little isometric stretch here. Good. All right. And then let go, bend the knee, and send that leg for a moment down to the mat. And just notice how you feel on that side of your body. Good, and then we take our left knee into our chest and we're going to extend it upward. Hands are behind your hamstring, and again we curl up, so shoulders come up, and we're gazing straight at our left quad. Core is nicely engaged. Find your breath, nice and easy. Even though your core is active and your belly button is working towards the spine, there's still room to breathe. See if you can relax your neck, maybe a little from left to right. Then move your hands up, indeed. Hands pressing into your calf, calf pressing into your hands for just two more breaths. Or 3, and then bend that knee, bring it down to the mat, and just notice how that left side feels. Good. Now we're gonna stay here just for one more exercise. We're gonna take that right knee in again, and we're gonna take our strap. So if you have your strap handy, take it. I am going to improvise because I do not have a scarf on today. So what we're going to do is just opening the hip. So take your strap, put it around your foot, hold it in your right hand. Both straps come to your right hand. And it's not necessary to completely stretch your leg. It's however you feel. If that stretch out leg is here, take it here. If it's here, fine. If you have a little bend, that's fine too. So what we're going to do is just make sure we can actually release this elbow that we are holding the straps in. And then we're just going to take our right foot to the outside. So we're opening that hip. Opening that hip. And see if you can breathe into it. Take the other left hand that is free on your left hip. And make sure that hip is not really moving along, right? So you want to keep your sacrum, your lower back on the floor, and your right leg is opening up to the right, opening slowly the hip here. holding that strap. Good. One more breath. Bring that leg back to the middle. Switch hands. Take the other hand to T position. And then let your leg go over to the other side. Good. Here's probably. That's it. Good. A few more breaths. See if you can relax that other shoulder. Maybe even help here a little bit. If it gets a little too tense, a little massage here. Little. Good. And then bring that leg back up. Take your feet back out. Take your strap away. And just indeed notice again, how does that feel on my right side? Now without strap, after that opening of the hip, how does my hip feel? How does my leg feel? Good. And then let's take it on the left side. So take your strap, wrap it around the sole of your foot. Take the both straps in your left hand. Activate through your leg that is on the mat. And take your right hand to your hip. And then let that left leg move outward. Let that left hip open up. And you help yourself with this strap. Make sure you're not reaching, but make sure your strap is long enough so your elbow can relax to the floor. Just opening, making sure our sacrum is on the floor, our lower back. If it's not on the floor, take that leg a little higher. Good. And then bring it back to center. And switch hands, put the straps in your right hand, maybe take your left hand out into T position, and then move that leg, your left leg, over to the other side. Still active through the bottom leg. Good. And then move it back to the middle. Bend your knee, take off the strap, and just take your leg down to the mat and notice how you feel. It's a lot of feeling, this practice. Notice if there's any more space than before. One more breath here. Good. And then before we are coming up, and I'm afraid once I start moving and coming to all fours, I'm going to be attacked by Ruby. She's very demanding at the moment, as you might have heard already, but I've been trying to ignore her, but soon enough I won't be able to ignore her like that. Anyway, so now slowly take your soles to your feet to the mat. And then we're going to just do one more thing here on our back. We're going to take our knees in, arms to T position. And we're just going to, with an inhale, move our knees to the right. And on your exhale, bring them back to center. Make sure that your belly button to spine is working. Just a nice reclined twist in motion here. Exhale to the middle, inhale to the side. Take that a few more times with your own breath, at your own pace. And make sure your knees are in. We're not really trying to make it a workout here by, sending the knees out and keeping them in a 90-degree angle. We could, but we're not. Just warming up the spine, stretching the lower back. Maybe last time here. Exhale to the middle, good. And then just roll to your side and press up. And then we'll be coming into all fours. So Let's come to all fours and meet in cat-cow. So here we are. Just going to take a few normal cat-cows. So knees are under the hips, hands are under the shoulders. Inhale, nose goes up. Arching the spine a little, not too much yet. Exhale, rounding the spine. Inhale, nose up. Arch and exhale, rounding the spine. Good. And now what I would like you to do is to take like a fluid cat-cow via child's pose. So we're going to go inhale. And then we're, on our rounding, on our exhale, when we round our back, we push also back into child's pose on the exhale. When our exhale ends and our inhale starts, we're going to move forward into our cow. Inhale, exhale. Back to child's pose. Inhale. To cow, exhale. Cat to child's pose. Good. Take it 5 more times at your own pace, following your breath. Here comes the last one. Inhale and exhale. Good. Stay in child's pose for just 2 more breaths. Notice your breath. Notice the breath in your lower belly and the sides of your back. Maybe even you feel the breath filling out your lower back here in child's pose. Good. And then come back to all fours. And now we're going to activate our core a little more. We're going to come into plank, so into your plank pose. And we're going to push back into down dog. So our first down dog, just stretch out the legs a little bit. Good. And then we're just going to move from down dog into plank and take that a few times. So exhale to down dog. Inhale to plank. Keep that core nice and active. Inhale, follow your breath. Inhale to the front. As long as your inhale takes, you're moving to the front into plank. And on your exhale, your whole exhale you will use to come into down dog. And sometimes you'll notice, as it's at least with me the case, that my inhale is a little shorter than my exhale. And we want to see if we can really make that even. So if that means that, you know, my inhale is shorter, then, and it's hard to extend it without forcing it, then make your exhale a little shorter and start your inhale a little earlier. But try to just, as much as possible, follow your natural breath here. Good. One more time. Exhale into down dog, and then we stay in down dog for just a moment. Maybe we come to our tippy toes. Send those sits bones up. Maybe bend the knees a little, really making sure our sits bones are up, and then just let your heels sink towards the mat. And just take a mental note here how this first down dog feels. Nicely pressing through the hands. Good. And then either walk your hands back to your feet or walk your feet up to your
hands. And then bend your knees nicely. And on an take your hands to your waist. And on an inhale, come halfway up. And exhale all the way up. Hoo-ha. Actually, I don't think I need my hat when I'm wearing this nice big sweater. All right, so we're up and we have about half an hour left in our practice. So we have come to our standing poses section. So let's come to the wide side of your mat and take a wide stance. About, what would it be? 3 feet apart, just a nice wide stance. Maybe 2 times shoulder width. Okay, we're going to start with goddess. So we have a nice wide stance. We're feeling our feet grounding into the mat. So think of your the ball of your foot under your at your big toe, at your pinky toe, and then the middle of your heel. And really feel that. Maybe even lift up your toes a little, and then put your toes back again, without crunching, without scrunching, but just feel your whole foot making nice contact with the floor. Good. All right. See if you can engage a little bit around the buttocks. And then you notice also your inner thighs that we've worked and that we found in the beginning. Activate. Good. Now we're going to take on an inhale, we're going to take our arms up. And on an exhale, we're going to sink down into our goddess. I'm going to stay here a little bit. You can take your arms down. And while we are here in goddess, you can take your left arm up and maybe stretch it over to the right. And take your right and stretch it over to the left. Trying to trick the mind not to feel our thighs here in goddess by moving our torso a little bit while warming up. Good. Also again, think belly button to spine. Good. And maybe just stand here for a moment. Yeah, Ruben. Maybe put your hands on your thighs. Good. All right, just a little longer. Warming up the thighs here. And then let's move our arms up on an inhale. Come out of goddess, inhale. And exhale, arms down. And maybe you want to just lift your knees a little bit here. Lift the knees. And then let's come back to a wider stance again. We're going to go one more time in goddess. So inhale up, arms up. Exhale, arms come down as in goalpost here in goddess. Good. And if this gets too much, you can always take your hands here. But for now, let's keep them here. And then we're going to lift our right ankle, heel, and then our left heel. Good. Lifting. Belly button to spine, lifting those heels. Good. And if anybody wants a challenge, we can try and see if we can take both heels up and down. Up and down. Really think belly button to spine and down. Good. Or you just stay here, lifting the right heel, lifting the left heel. Good. I'm feeling this 100%. So let's come out with a big inhale. Ooh, and exhale, shake it out, come out of it. All right, we warmed those up because the next one we've never done before. It is called hand to big toe. And I would recommend you take hold of the wall with one hand. So our left leg will be our standing leg, so then you take your left hand to the wall. Okay, we're really going to ground through that left leg. Even take a micro bend here already. Then we're going to take our index finger and thumb, wijsvinger en duim, to around our big toe. So here starts the balance already. So grab that wall or a cupboard, or and then lift that right knee up. Place your thumb and index finger around that big toe, and then we don't need to stretch the whole leg forward. You can keep it bent. Definitely, a nice big bend in it is perfectly fine. If you feel like it and you want to see how far you can go, try it. See if you can stretch that leg up. Good. Otherwise, keep a bend in there, and think belly button to spine. We want to make sure we're not really tilting our pelvis much backwards. So, okay. And now, while we are here, see if we can find that easy breath. See if we can let go of any tension anywhere. And if you do feel any tension, see if on your exhale you can send your breath there and relax. Good. And the next step is to open a little to the side. So you're holding that big toe, open your hips to the side. Even with that bend, it's perfect. If you're here and you think like, oh, let's see, you can always see how far you can stretch it. Good. Or just with a nice bend. Good. Open that hip. See how far it can go. Not farther than the natural range. So when you feel too much of a stop somewhere, stop there too. Okay, now just let it go slowly. Good, let it go. Shake that standing leg, because that standing leg and glute has been working really hard. And then we're going to take it on the other side. But first again, really make sure your foot is nicely grounded, and that you're consciously thinking of that ball joint from your big toe, and then at your pinky toe, the joint there, and then the middle of your heel and the back, those three. And then lift those toes up indeed, and just place them back on the floor. See how you then feel the mat or the ground underneath you. Good. So take a little micro bend in your standing leg. Ground through that leg. Engage your buttocks. Engage your inner thigh muscle, your turnout muscle, sorry, I should say. And then take take the wall with your right hand. So if your standing leg is this time your right leg, then your right hand is at the wall. And then you take with your left finger, duim and wijsvinger, you take your big toe. And once you find your balance here, you can see if you want to stretch that leg a little farther up. And if you find your breath there and you think, oh, I have a little more stretch in me, see if you can lengthen that front leg. Good. Or just take it back. Find that breath. Try and see if you can keep the breath easy. And if the breath doesn't keep easy, just back off and take it a step, easier. And that would mean bending your knee a little more. That's it. That's what you do. Okay, so and then next step, opening. Opening that hip to the left. Good. Find your balance again after that movement. And then if you want to, maybe you want to see how far you can take that stretch to the side or not. And take a nice bend. Good. Whoop. At any moment that you feel it's getting too much or you lose your toe, just bring it back to the front and back down. Very good. All right. Shake it out. That was our hand to big toe. Hasta Pada Gustasana, I think. I really enjoyed the Sanskrit in my teacher training. I've always liked languages. Okay, so shake that out. Very good. Then we are going to take 2 blocks and prepare for our angle pose. So maybe you don't need the blocks, and maybe you do. So just put them towards the front of your mat. We're going to start at the front of your mat. Just put the blocks there for now. Good, so you're at the front of your mat, at the short side, and we're gonna taking a big step with our left foot back. Just put it back. Our toes are slightly, of our leg that went back, are slightly pointing outward. Our front toes are pointing forward. So this is gonna be a closed hip position. So really make sure your hip bones are shining forward. Good. Ground through the feet. Take your hands, interlace the fingers, and if you can, see if you can pull your hands down past your sacrum, past your buttocks. See if you, and this will open up the chest here. Good. Think belly button to spine, and take your gaze a little up, a little stretch. Take your sternum up. Find your breath. Active through the arms, reaching backward. And on your next inhale, we're going to hinge from the hips forward with a straight, long back. And we come parallel to the mat with our back. Our arms are still reaching backward. Good. At this moment, you can also let your hands go and reach either for the blocks for now, or you're still here because we're holding it here for just a moment, really grounding through the feet. Turning your inner thighs towards each other, really collecting around the pelvis. Good. One more breath here. Lengthening through the crown. And on your exhale, let it all go. Either release your hands to the floor or to your blocks and let your head be supple, and your neck, release your neck. Good. All the while still active through the feet and the legs. Letting that head go. Loose neck. So you're either here, or maybe you are with your hands, fingertips to the floor. I have a little overworked hamstring on the right, so I don't want to stretch too far, but I'm going to show you on the blocks. So you're either here, you can, if this would be the floor, you could also put your hands a little farther, maybe reach where you can reach with your fingertips, and then bring your hands down to get a little more intense stretch here. Good. All right. And then to come out, just take one more breath here. Come out, so take a micro bend or a nice bend in the front leg, and just take your hands back at your sacrum, and then push up and out. Good. And then we take it to the other side. I'll turn around. So then we are stepping with our right leg back. Good. I gotta speed up a little. I was looking forward to this practice, so I'm really enjoying it and taking my time apparently. So hands interlaced behind your back at your sacrum, feet nice and strong, grounding. Your back toes are pointing out a little outward, like 45 degrees. Good. Reach out, reach down with your hands, open up the chest, belly button to spine. Inhale. Maybe lift the sternum, lift your gaze a little. One breath. And on your next inhale, hinge from the hips, come into this position where your upper body is parallel to the floor, pushing through the feet. Good. Hold for one breath more. And maybe one more breath. And on your next inhale, let the arms go and fold over your front leg. See if you can do something with my direction where what I mean is to curl your inner thighs towards each other, to not squeeze, but you're like turning inward with your front inner thigh and your back inner thigh. So you're really collecting around the pelvis. And let your head hang, relax your neck. You can take your hand palms down to the floor. Let your head hang. Or you're here, of course, oops. You're here on your blocks. And if you want a little extra, you just walk out your fingers, spider fingers out, a little forward in front of your foot, and then bring your fingers down and see, maybe you can bring your palms all the way down too, and let your head be nice and relaxed. Good. And to come out, see if you can bring your come up to a flat back first. So really engage belly button to spine. Bring your arms back at your sacrum, micro bend in the knee, and then push out, like push with your arms out, push with that front leg all the way back out and up. Good. All right. Okay. Good, good, good. Then we are going to make our way back to the mat again with a half sun salutation. And I'm going to come back into, well, I'll lead you through it. It's not that complicated at all. It's just about noticing the space, noticing what you feel. Okay, so come to the top of your mat, and then your feet are, hip width apart. We're going to take a nice half sun salutation, so without the chaturanga, without going down to the floor. Here we go. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. And exhale, fold. Plant your palms. Step your right foot back and your left foot right away into down dog. And I guess you know where I'm going. Stay in your down dog. Relax your head in between your arms. Push through the hands. And take 2-3 breaths here. And notice how your down dog feels this time. Good. And then walk your feet towards your hand into a forward fold. Bend your knees nicely and take your hands out via the side with a big inhale up. So inhale up and exhale, hands to heart. Good. We do that one more time. So inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up. And exhale, fold. This time you step your left back and then your right into down dog. And it really pressing through the hands, sending the sits bones up, and see how we can play with this position and see if we can find more space. See if we can feel our breath move into more little spots. Can the breath move freely? Good. And then just take your hands back to your feet this time to change that up. Good. And a nice inhale, arms up. Inhale up. And exhale, hands to heart. Very nice. Okay. Now we're going to make our way back down again. Any way you like. Maybe we'll just take a nice body roll down. Yeah, I got to hurry up a little. Okay, so hips, feet hip width apart. Just take your gaze up for a moment. Nice breath in, and then just roll your head first, vertebrae for vertebrae, all the way down, slowly, slowly. Nicely bending the knees, placing your hands, and then come to lay on your belly for our back bend. So come on your belly. And we're gonna, a little more easier variant here is bring your arms out in front. So your elbows are a little out in front of your shoulders and your hands come together, more like, wijsvinger and thumb, index finger and thumb touching. And we are pressing through the forearms, belly button to spine. Our legs are nicely firm together. Glutes engaged, pressing through the forearms, and our gaze is forward. Good. Keep pressing through those forearms. Take 5 breaths here. And for anyone who would like a little bit more of an intense back bend, intense cobra, you make sure, well, for everybody who wants to stay here, stay here. And then if you want to come out and come into a little intenser back bend cobra, take first your chin to the floor, then your nose, then your forehead, then move your hands under your shoulders and move your elbows towards your feet. And then lift without pushing in these hands. These hands here are solely for a little bit of support, but we're not pushing, we're not going to put any muscle into it. We're going to lift here the chest and the shoulders with the help of our back, of course. So on an inhale, you come up, and there's hardly anything here. You could also take them off, but your elbows are working towards the back. And your gaze is forward. Still the same holds, firm legs, engaged buttocks. Good. Stay here. Find your breath. Notice what your breath does to your asana. And is your breath becoming a bit too laborious, just easily come out of it. And then let's all come out of it now. So we're going to release, lengthening through the crown of our head. First putting our chin on the floor. Then bringing our nose down to the mat. And then our forehead. Good. And now that we are all here, let's move our hands, fold our forearms, and lay our forehead onto our forearms. Just slowly rocking our head from side to side on our forearms. And bring your feet up to the ceiling. Bend your legs, bend your knees, feet up to the ceiling, and do the same. Let them move from side to side. Good. All right, and then put your hands again back under your shoulders, your feet down, and just press back up. Press back up and come to seated. And you might want to use, oh, daar zijn ze weer. Oh, oh, oh. So cute. My house wren. Mijn winterkoninkje. Okay, so we come to easy pose. And in easy pose, we're going to take a twist and we're going to take a lateral stretch. So for everyone, for many in my family who might be doing this practice, they are beginners. So make sure you sit a little elevated with your sits bones a little up on your blanket. And your feet in easy pose, either right before left or whatever feels good, sorry. And then our hands will be here on our knees, and we are going to take a twist. Yes, so take our arms up, inhale up. And on our exhale, our left hand goes to our right knee, and our right arm goes behind our sacrum on the floor. So we're nicely twisting here. On an inhale, we lengthen our spine. And on the exhale, we see if we can twist more to the back. So from the waist and the rib cage and the shoulders. And lastly, your head. Maybe take your gaze over your shoulder. Find a few breaths here. Good. And on your next inhale, lengthen. And exhale, slowly turn back forward. All right, let's move the legs around. So whatever leg in front goes back now. And again, inhale, arms come up. And exhale, we twist to the left. So our right arm goes to our left knee, and our left arm goes behind our sacrum on the floor, on the ground, on your mat. On an inhale, we lengthen, and on an exhale, we twist a little more from the waist, rib cage, shoulders, and lastly, we can take our gaze over our shoulder. Find your breath here. On the next inhale, lengthen. And on your exhale, slowly come back forward again. We're going to switch our legs again, but now just come into, easy pose, as in crossed legs, other leg in front. I'm just going to take a few lateral stretches. So we're going to, and for those who are not very comfortable sitting in easy pose, if your knees are here, put your blocks under there, like this, so your hip flexors can release nicely. And you can concentrate on your side stretch. So here we go. Our left arm, right arm is on the mat, left arm comes up and over on the exhale. Hello, Ruby. And then we take it to the other side. Put your left hand down, right arm over and to the outside. Nice. And let's move it a little bit. Just a nice little movement here. Combine it maybe with your breath if you want. Inhale, up. Exhale to the side. Inhale, up. Exhale to the side. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. I got lucky today because the sun actually came out. There's apparently not many sun hours in Pittsburgh during the winter. I've never really paid so much attention, I guess. A few more. Now that I'm paying attention, I only see the sunny days. So that's good. Okay, so enough of the lateral stretch. Let's see, do we want to... No, we don't need to do the blocks anymore. You can take away the blocks. We're going to take the soles of our feet together for butterfly, Baddha Konasana. And that means a bound angle pose, really. Bound, I guess, because your feet are together and your hands are at your ankles. So you're a closed entity, closed circle, and your knees are bent. Your knees are in an angle. So here in butterfly, we are just going to lengthen up. Really make sure we're on our sits bones. See if we can, again, here also in butterfly, if you do need the blocks, do take them here. So we're here. And we're going to hinge from the hips forward with a straight back. For now, straight back, long neck, leading with the crown of our head, finding our breath. Making sure our lower back is nice and straight, and for that reason I'm always sitting on little blanket or pillow. Good. And now for the next inhale, just let go. Just round your back. Let your head go. You can even use, if you're there, you can use your elbows to guide your knees down a little more in the forward fold. Just hang here. Relax the neck. Rounding the back. Folding forward. Finding a more inward focus. And then to come out of your forward fold, place your hands in front of you. And first, bring your neck in a neutral position. And then, with the guidance of your hands, slowly walk back up. And then at the end, make sure your hands are helping your knees come back in. And then we are ready for our supported bridge. So come seated, come to your backs, with a block handy for a little restorative inversion. And so the soles of our feet are on your mat. You're going to lift your hips, put the block under. Hands are active. Curl your shoulders under. Bring your knees up. Maybe rock from side to side to notice whether your hips are nicely placed on the block, and then bring your feet up and find your breath. Close your eyes if you are not naturally already closing your eyes. Start to notice your breath in your nose, in your nostrils. Notice how it's slightly dry and cold on your inhale, and on your exhale. It's much more pleasant, the breath moving out. A little warm, a little moist. Relax your jaws, your cheeks, your eyes. The tongue in your mouth. And then bring your feet back to the mat. Carefully take the block out from under your hips. And come into your Shavasana. Make yourself comfortable. Maybe a blanket under your head, even a blanket over you. Sometimes a blanket on your pelvis, on your hips is a very nice addition. And just try to find that inner focus on the breath. Let your breath be the anchor for your mind. And then bring the awareness to the crown of your head. Move your awareness down to the space behind the middle of your eyes. Move your awareness to your throat. Move your awareness to your heart center. Move your awareness to the space behind your belly button. Move your awareness to the middle of your pelvis, your pelvic bowl. And move your awareness to the base of your spine. Move your awareness back up to the middle of your pelvis. To your belly button. To your heart space. To your throat. Behind your eyes, in the middle of your brain. And back up to the crown of your head. Take one more breath. Send that breath all the way into every little corner of your body. Notice how you feel. And then start to wiggle your toes and your fingertips. Circle your ankles. And then slowly move to your side. And stay here for just one more breath. And then push yourself up to seated. Bring your hands to heart and fold forward to seal in the benefits of your practice. Namaste. Have a great next rest of your day, and I hope to see you next time. Have a great rest of your day.